Welcome to the next episode of Coffee and Cleavage, my pervies. Today we have Miss Ailina, the bestest slave in the whole wide universe. Say hey.
Hey y'all, hey.
I wanted to bring her on because I just feel like she has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, and I just wanted to share her story. She is another person that has played such a big and pivotal role in my growth. And it hasn't even been a year yet, and she be getting me together. So, I'm just gonna give you a moment to kind of introduce yourself, and all of those things.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings. My name is Ailina DeSade. Many have known me as Wolfie, but I go by Ailina DeSade. I have been in the BDSM and leather alternative lifestyles for the past, in 2024? 9, 10, 11 years. I don't have enough fingers to count, but I've been in here at least a good 9 to 10, give or take. Um, I am an unowned leather slave. I am in service to the House of Bear, and I am leather family to the Forge and the House of Kemenesu. Um, I do my own thing. I rock the way I rock, but I always identify as a slave first. And my characteristics are I'm a sadistic middle and a primal. And my primal is a wolf. Thank you so much for having me, ma'am.
Thank you for coming and stepping outside that good old comfort zone that I be trying to drag everybody out of. um, I really wanted to take a moment to just kind of hear about your journey into leather. I know that a lot of people that watch my podcast, they're kind of new to all of this. And so I just want to share a lot of different experiences so they can see maybe one will resonate with them. Like yours wouldn't have resonated with me the way that Lady Savage did, you
Hmm.
know? So I want to just give all of the different sides. So maybe it resonates with someone and they're like, you know what? I see myself.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, just quickly backstory how I got into BDSM even before leather is like many folks, I read 50 Shades of Grey, also called FSOG. If you've ever been online and you see that, that's what they're talking about. Um, the difference for me is that I realized that it was purely fiction. It was non-melanated and saltine cracker brigade. I knew that, this wonderful witch, rich person was not going to find me and make me, take me to the red room. What resonated with me reading the books was her submissiveness, if that's a word. And at the time prior to that, I was married and I was like, oh, I did a lot of that for my husband. I think I'm a submissive, which led me down this beautiful rabbit hole that a lot of people don't realize that I thought I was a submissive. I came to realize that submissives I honor and humble submissives. They have too many choices, too many options. You could pick the red button, the red pill, green pill. I can't. So, but I came in as a submissive and I started to research what BDSM was, what a submissive was. It was all about the research for me. It was all about I need to know what this is that I watched outside of the slap and tickle.
Right.
Why would she kneel to him? Why would she submit to him? Why, when Christian would say something, she would come to attention? What is that energy?
Right.
And for me, I had to find out what that was. And I joined a couple of groups on Facebook, made my whole profile. And then I realized, again, like I said, submissives have a lot of choices. And then the other side of that is slavehood, which, and I'm going to say this very clearly and more than once, slavehood or being a slave is not the Willy Wonka golden ticket of the right side. I will say that again. Slavehood is not the golden ticket. You don't get a special prize for being a slave. You do not. It is not it's not tiered levels where you're leveling up in a video game. That's not it. What I realized for me was that I needed a I needed no options. I needed no choice. I didn't want a choice. And my sister submissives that I know and I respect and honor, they have choices, they have options, they have renegotiation. Slaves don't negotiate much. It's the master's way or the highway. And I was like, sign me up, Captain. I'm ready. Hey. But I was fearful of the word slave, not from a historical standpoint of our ancestors, but
Hmm.
because I did not understand what slavehood meant. And a very important slave that helped me in my journey had said to me very explicitly, you're afraid of the word slave because submissive is your Linus blanket. Linus always kept that blanket. It was secure. It was comfortable. Slavehood was unknown, and I didn't know what it looked like. So I always said I was the submissive with a slave's heart. I'm gonna leave that one just with that. But when she made me realize that I kept saying that because I was afraid of the word slave, that's when it fell off, and I said, "Aha, okay, you made a point." And the leather just came naturally. My first patch I ever received was of a huge wolf, because again, my nickname was Wolfie. And the leather dominant that I had known for a very long time, he had said at the time, Wolfie, you're leather. No, I'm not, sir. He said, girl, you are. You hold the tenants. You walk with the tenants without a master. You walk in your leather every day. You are leather. And I sat and I mulled with it and I was like, yes, sir. Because that's literally what slaves do. We just go, yes, sir. Um, and I realized that for me, leather is who I am. It's what I do. It's what I connect with, is what resonates with me. It's the people that I connect to. Kinky people are awesome. Y'all fabulous. Come to the table. We got cookies and tequila. Not the top shelf stuff though. However, you can still come to the table. But
Yes.
leather for me is more than a cap, a vest, a cuff. I'm leather in my pajamas. I'm a slave in my pajamas.
Hmm.
I am leather and a slave when I go to work on Tuesday. So my leather is who I am. It is not something that I had to be taught. It is not something that I learned. It is not something that I even researched. I ain't read no whole bunch of books. Let me be clear. Reading nonfiction BDSM and or leather books, which I love them all. I hear Charlie Brown teacher. I learned my leather real time. I learned my BDSM and my slavehood real time. Books are
Hmm.
awesome. Please read them. Please understand them. But until you get the hands on, in person, touching skin, putting grass to ground, they're all just information. So, to answer your question, ma'am, that is how I came into BDSM and leather.
I'm thinking about like what you're talking about, and I'm thinking about the first time I met you. And
Oh,
I remember me and Master Bear, we came in. It was our first like mentor mentee road trip where he had me drive a lot. And
shh, he gonna make you write something. Shh, shh, shh.
I already got one. We'll
Oh,
talk
I'm
about that
sorry.
later.
I heard
Uh,
about that. But any to who?
um, and we come in and we have to stand in this super long line as self to try to get into our rooms. And it's like this whole big switch of things. It was a whole lot of for our first event. And then we
Hmm.
had to go downstairs and stand in this super
alphabetical line.
super long line, right? So we're
Hmm.
standing there, and then here I see this young lady that's 5'4" with just blonde hair, and she's like doing the what run were you doing? Because I don't watch that. Is it Naruto or because your arms was back? It was the anime run,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wait, I was taking
she
off.
like she runs up to the line. She gives Master Bear this huge hug, right? And Bear introduces us, and she was talking about something, and she just goes, "Yeah, cause I only have 7 fingers," and I was like, I don't even know how to like receive this, but I really like her energy. And that weekend, we just spent time bonding and getting to know each other. And I was like, she looked at me and she said, "Why are you getting your own chairs? Why are you doing this? Like, which
Duh.
side of the slash are you on?" And I was like, wait a minute, nobody is in service to me. She was like, "Well, you can ask me now." And I was like, "Oh, well, if you say that you're open to that, but I don't just come in and be like, I'm a dominant. Hear me roar.
A
Go
rock.
give me a
Wait,
chair."
dinosaur arms. A roar.
Go get a chair, bitch. Like,
Wait a minute now, because that would have made me happy. You done called my name? Hold on now. Hold on. Hey, hey, ma'am. Hey, you said bitch.
so, but we connected that way, and it's just blossomed and
Yeah.
grown. And I, another reason that I have so many leather people on here
Hmm.
is because a lot of times people think that leather is so rigid. Leather is, leather people are all like protocol. And don't get me wrong, like protocol makes me happy. Rules and regulations gives me I need something to hold me
Yeah.
accountable. I don't want to just be out here doing
Flying by the seat
whatever.
of your damn pants.
I don't want that, right? And I
Hmm.
want to hey, am I measuring up to what I want to measure up to?
Yeah.
However,
.com. Right.
the amount of tomfoolery and fuckery that we get ourselves into on a regular basis,
Tuesday on a Tuesday.
which is amazing. Once again, live living pinata. Okay,
Yes.
we just gonna say that and we gonna leave it alone. What I'm saying is we're always into some fuck
Yeah.
shit. It's always so fun, but it's always so consensual.
Hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
always with with care in our hearts.
With love, respect, integrity, honor,
Correct.
transparency. What people fail to realize is that the definition of leather to a certain degree is we're fucking kinky rebels. We don't live, I mean, think of a motorcycle club. They don't live by the normal standard. They don't move
Right.
by the normal standard. Leather is a rebellion against the norm. We just happen to look hot and sexy in our leather and ain't riding no motorcycle.
Cause who getting on the motorcycle?
I,
Not my ass.
I would like to.
More power. I ain't doing it.
I want to face forward, like I want to have my back towards the road and have my legs wrapped around something. Okay, that's another conversation for another time. Okay, into who, ma'am? I just had a whole thought in my head. Had to reel myself back. But leather is kinky rebellion. There is a master. His name is Master Malik, and he is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he was at Self one year, and which stands for Southeast Leatherfest. Got to tell the people. And I think his class was called Your Leather's Not My Leather, something along those lines. And something resonated with me that he said is, how can you be comfortable in a second skin, i.e., the vest or the cap or the gloves, when you're not comfortable in your first skin?
You better come through out here saying a word.
Only God can do it. Hey.
Yes.
But when he said that, I said, and that's what solidified a part of me of being leather, because being an older woman,
Hmm.
I ain't got no shame. I'm 56.
And look
Um,
damn good at 56 goals.
I'm gonna go ahead and snatch a young one. I can't, no, because I ain't got no pocketbook. My pocketbook is empty.
It's all
Um,
right. You already got a young one
you, he thinks I'm cute. Yes. But but yeah, I realized I cannot. And I know he's giggling somewhere.
He not even
Um,
here. You safe. You safe until he listens to it.
right. But I realized that it for me being older, being a slave, which a lot of POC women and POC as a community and even the non-melanated have an issue with that word. They want to spell it differently. They want to identify it differently. I'm a slave. SLAVE. The difference between me and my ancestors is that I consented to this. My ancestors didn't have a choice. I have consensual slavery that I can resign from slavehood when I choose. My ancestors didn't have that option. So I stand firmly in spelling it exactly the way it is because I know there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there's a difference. I understand that there's a difference. My ancestors did not have that choice. I still have a choice as a slave, which slaves don't have much choice, but I know I could walk away if I choose to.
Mm-hmm.
Kunta Kinte got his whole foot chopped off because
Mm-hmm.
him was trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
I could go and people be like, okay, well, we're sorry to see you go, but we understand.
Mm-hmm.
I have consensual slavery, consensual. There was chattel slavery. Everybody go to the Google, look up
Right.
chattel slavery.
That's different.
The Google. It's completely different. What I do is I live in surrender, the surrender of my will to my master when I get one. Because I'm unowned. I'm unowned and unafraid.
And we'll talk about that in just a
Yes, ma'am.
second.
Um, and I do all the things that make me happy, i.e., meeting you and realizing that Master Bear had took on a mentor, and I had known my brother for a very long time. So I knew if he chose you and you're on the left, then you're gonna get exactly what he's gonna get. Man, why are you getting your own chair? What in the halibut? I know I don't know you from a can of paint, but you're on the left. And people fail to realize, for me at least, I respect my identity more than I respect anybody on the left. So whether you're a sir or ma'am, even if I don't like you, I'm going to respect your identifier because I respect mine's more.
I understand
I could be holding a match behind my back with the kerosene Molotov cocktail in it. Be done set you on fire. Sir, ma'am, you on fire? For real?
that.
Who did that?
I don't even know that. That is crazy.
That's banana pants. But I will respect. And so when I met you and he said, Wolfie, this,
Do it again. Do it
he
again.
said, Wolfie, this my mentee, Miss Locs. Cause you gotta come on down to clean with the CTX, Wolfie. Yes, sir. This my mentee, Miss Locs. Miss Locs, this is my sister, Wolfie. And the first thing I said was, ma'am, nice to meet you. Because even if you did not know you were all the way on the left because he said you were, that's where you was going to be in my mind. And from that moment on, there is an unequal, there's an inequality, but a
Mm-hmm.
respectful inequality because
Mm-hmm.
left and right are not here. It's always this.
Correct.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Yes, we all start out here, but for me, myself, and I, like Beyonce said with her Outside Her Country album, there's an inequality. And I
Correct.
respect that inequality, but I respect mine's more.
I understand that.
There's D
I
types
understand.
there's D types I don't even like. But I bet you if I'm in their presence, good afternoon, sir. Exit stage left.
And that's so dope because me, I just. and
But but ma'am, you're allowed to because you're on the left.
I grasp that as well. I also want to point out, as you were talking, because for me, I've
Mhm.
been really like trying to figure out: am I looking for a DNS dynamic? Am I looking for an MNS
Mhm.
dynamic? And I struggled with the idea of MNS because Ty told me, hey, I have been in service to you. You lean more to like the M side, like
Mhm.
you are more, this is what we talked about, this is what we agreed to. Why are we even having this discussion? I
End
don't
of
feel like there
discussion.
should be a discussion. Like, this
There's
is
no.
what you agreed to. This
Mhm.
is what I, so why are we even here at this space? He was like, you,
How did we get here, bitch? I called the bus. Right.
that's what had to happen because we had talked about this already. So, like, like listening to him and his feedback, and that's what a lot
Mhm.
of people don't do either. Like, yes, Ty is my partner now, but we started off in a DHS
Yes. Yes.
dynamic, and when it ended, we had these conversations. These are
Mhm.
learning conversations because how I saw myself, I thought I wasn't that demanding. I remember I was talking to Joy and Rebel, and I was like, yeah, we were out to brunch. It was me, and it was Ty, and it was Joy, and it was Rebel, and I was like, hey, yeah, no, like I feel like we had. I'm not a hard dominant. I feel like I'm super soft, and then you hear him over there talk.
Like, no, you're not.
And I was like,
In your head, you think you
what
are.
are you talking about? And he
What do
was
you
like,
mean?
you were not that simple to deal with. Really? He was like, yeah, I was almost out the door like 3 different times because you told me and I did. He was like, if I don't do something that you told me to do when you told me to do it, you was like, well, maybe this ain't for what you thinking it is, or maybe this ain't what
And
it
I got
should
to
be.
go.
And I was like, but I had told you to do it. So why is it like a debate? Like, I don't understand why it's a debate. Like, we sat down and we talked about it and you said this is what you're looking for. So I said, okay, this is what I require from you. So why are we discussing it? And
Why are
it's
we
from
having a
that,
conversation
why
about
are
it?
we having a conversation? But sitting down and having that conversation with him has made me sit in it. And that is part of the reason why I realized I get irritated. Bratting without permission to brat. And this is spoken from somebody that identifies as a bratty dominant. I don't brat with you. You haven't given me permission to brat with you. So I am always D-type me all the time when I'm talking
Mhm.
to you, right?
Yeah.
However,
She said, however.
with my partner, I'd be like, if you don't love me, just say that.
I need booty rubs and you didn't give me an
If
Easter
you
basket.
don't love me, just
You
say,
don't
where's my
love me no
food rug?
more.
And where's my wine? So like, but that's consensual,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
a lot of people don't understand that bratting, you can't just have bad behaviors and be like, oh, it's because I'm a brat. It's
Ma'am,
unconsensual.
have you watched my one eye roll? Yeah, I love my brats because our sister Joy is one. I'm a mother of two and I've never had a brat. I will respect your characteristic, your identifier, but I'm gonna want to trip you and beat your ass.
But my thing is that I feel like you be wanting to beat the ass of people that did not ask permission to do all the things with you. Because if they'd have asked to do all the things with you or tried to get permission, you'd have said no because that's not in your wheelhouse.
Exactly.
And
Or on the flip side, our sister's never bratted at us, but we know she has the capability. She's more of a boss. She's the doggone switch that voluntold you to do things. Okay, all right, sis, I'll do it. I did. That's literally all you can say to her. It's like, all right, that's fine.
okay.
That's why she wrangled me into presenting last year. That's how that worked. But I mean, I give brats their due. I give them the respect that they just don't. If you ain't asked me to do it,
Don't
because
do it.
it's not gonna
But
work out for you.
it's a consensual situation though. And I feel
Absolutely.
like a lot of people take the bad behavior that they do, the lack of self-control,
Hmm.
the lack of knowledge
Yeah.
and the know-with-all, and then they're like, well, I'm a brat. And there is a thin line between being a brat and a bitch. And I know that comes off rude, but I'm speaking as a person that is a brat.
Right.
And I'm a bitch. Okay? And those are two completely separate
Whole
personalities.
different spectrum.
Whole different spectrums. When I'm bratting, and I normally only brat with my partner, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain type of a dynamic there, right?
I.e., I need wine and booty rubs.
And yeah, because how come you're not
How
loving
come
on
you're
me the
not?
way the hell I require, right? But
And
on
now
the
I'ma
bitch
fall out.
side, you will say clean fallout. But on But on the bitch side, don't come up underneath my picture talking all fucking sideways because you
Hmm.
got me fucked up. Those are
Yeah.
two completely different situations. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people come into these spaces and they use a brat as bad behavior, which is what gives
Ain't
brats a
a
bad
bad
name.
name. And it's supposed to be accepted. I think the entire not. I'm trying to use all of my non potty words.
That's all right. I cuss
Absaf
all the time on these podcasts.
Abso-freaking-lutely not. What you're not gonna, oh well, cause I'm a brat. Yeah, well, I'm a wolf. So if I bite you, then that should be okay, right? Oh, but wait, I didn't consent to that. I ain't consent to you bratting at me.
Mhm.
How's there a difference?
And I just want to put this out here. We're going to do this quick plug. If
Hmm.
you don't understand what we're talking about, our sister Joy Perez does an amazing class called The Bratty Submissive.
Yes,
And
she
baby, when I
does.
tell you she sits down and she talks about it and she breaks it down, a lot of people take that class and think that it's about how I can get over on my D type, how I can brat more. No, what it is it's
She can't.
delving into what that looks like.
Hmm.
She talks heavy on consent of bratting. And as
Yes.
a brat myself,
Yeah.
and I love saying it because it took me a really long time to
To be
understand
comfortable.
that it was okay for me to be a bratty, sadistic, dominant.
Absolutely.
My brat did not take away from my dominant capability.
Hmm.
Okay, my sadistic didn't add to my dominant
Right.
capability. They are all their own subsection of my personality, and it is
Absolutely.
okay for me to have all of those.
Yeah.
And so, consent,
Is
consent,
paramount. Consent.
consent.
Because only God can do it. Do it.
But I wanted to take a moment.
Yes.
There was a class that was taught at Kiki Harvest by this amazing slave in front of me, and it was called Unowned and Unafraid. And over this journey that I've started, building uncensored, running the TNGs, talking to more people, being more available. One thing that I have heard a lot of is not feeling as if they were really part of the life that we choose to live
Hmm.
because they are unowned. And
Hmm.
their full purpose, their full drive is to find a way to find somebody to own them.
To
Not
wrangle a dominant.
understanding that you don't want to be owned by some of these raggedy ass motherfuckers out here. And I'm going to say this again. You don't want to be owned by some of these raggedy ass motherfuckers out here that's pretending. Okay? And so you have to be comfortable within self. So I wanted to take a moment
Yeah.
and just allow you to talk about your class and how you move being unowned and you keep yourself from going into the frenzy that is what we find ourselves in when we are unpartnered.
Let me be clear. I had frenzy. I had a quickie caller. I'm always going to speak transparent and honest. When I first came into what it is that we do, WIITWD.
Okay, come
I,
through, cause I was like,
yeah, all the letters. Um, I saw the people on the right, they had collars, you know. I wanted one too. And I had a quickie collar. I didn't know the man from a can of paint, met him on Fet. He was in a frenzy for an ownership. I was in a frenzy to be owned. Huzzah! Till I, till I realized that I had more what's the opposite of estrogen?
testosterone.
Yeah, I had more than he did, and I realized that mm, I don't like that. I don't. No, no, no. So I have had one quickie collar, two considerations, and I was owned. I've only been owned once in the 10-ish, whatever, XYZ amount of years. Um, but through all of that, I came back to being unowned. And I've been able to serve, be in service, be of service, be happy, be sad, get my kinks filled, get some scenes happening by myself. And I did it without needing to own a collar, a cuff, a ring, an anklet, whatever that adornment is of ownership, because your journey in this lifestyle starts with you. A master or a dominant is not going to get you what you want at the end. Yes, you can say, "Oh, I'm owned by my daddy or my master or my blah 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 blah." But when they leave, what happens? Then you're gonna go in a corner and I have volunteered at multiple conferences. I have been in service to the dominants that are not only in my tribe and my family, but dominants that are in my inner sanctum. You get
She helps me.
yes, ma'am, and continue to do so. No more calendar appointments. Um, you I got everything that I needed for me, and that's where this thing starts at. Being unowned is not a stigma. Being unowned is not a bad thing. Everybody is not meant to be owned. Everybody is not meant to own.
Correct.
So you need to find, for me, I found my joy. Service is my kink. So we speak of kinks and fetishes and things of that nature. People don't look at service as a kink. Kink can give me goosebumps. I can go into subspace from being in service, which, ma'am, I think at
We've
barbecue
seen it. We've totally seen it. She was in the zone. She had 75 keys. She had 6 cups. She was running all over the place, and her eyes was glazed. And there was a point in time where we had to tell her to go sit her ass down. Go sit down somewhere. Boy, because she was floating and doing all. Hey, you ain't gonna be no good to nobody if you don't just take a minute. And she had all of the keys in her. So she was going to rooms, and I'd be like, "Hey, can you go grab this?" And she'd be
yes, ma'am, on my way,
right away. And then, Master Bear would be like, "Can you do this?" And
right
right
away.
away. And then Sir Ty would be like, "Can you do this?" And okay, I can do that. And she's like, and it was a frenzy at that point in time. We were like, hey, we need for you to fucking relax.
I was Cat Williams, Snoop Dogg, 9 blunts in rotation. Hi, 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 hi,
Yes.
hi. But that's my joy. That is a benefit for me being unowned, because if I am owned to a master, then I can't serve the way that I did. I can still serve and still get my rocks off and still be in all of the subspace, but being unowned is not a bad thing, because you get to learn about yourself. You get to do the things that you want to do without the restriction of a master saying you can only do A, B, C, D.
Yes.
I can go to any event, any conference, be in service to who I choose to, and can't nobody tell me no.
I feel
I
like people need to really listen to that aspect. You have the freedom
I
to
got the
be in
power
service
to
to
myself.
whoever you want to be in service
Yes,
to.
ma'am.
If you want to be in service to this person here and this person there, you do not have a dominant that controls you and tells you, hey, this is what you cannot do.
Mhm.
If you want to be in service at a high protocol dinner, you can do that and be in service to everybody and not have to worry about the extras that come into place. You know,
Absolutely.
eye contact, no eye contact, kneeling, no kneeling, any of that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of freedom that
Yes, being
comes with being
unowned.
unowned. You can go and negotiate. People don't realize you can negotiate. You can
Yeah.
say, hey, one of my favorite D types is coming to this event. Let me reach out to him and see if I can negotiate to go ahead and be in service to him during this
Or
event.
the flip side is they'll hit me up in my inbox because of my service. So, Ailina, I heard you're gonna be at so and so and so and so. Would you consider being in service to me? Okay, sir.
Boom, let's talk about a commodity out here. And a lot of people think that it's the D types that's the commodity, but when you are amazing at what you do and you do it well and you do it from your heart,
Mhm.
people will search you out
Yeah.
in order to be in service to them because they love the service that you provide as a whole and what you
Right.
stand for,
Yeah.
not what somebody else helps you do. You are your own individual, you're your own person,
I
and
am
you
the
have your own
captain of my
identity.
own ship.
Yes.
And the unafraid part is just that. Um, doing this thing, it can get lonely. It can be sad. It can be, I don't have a partner, but I see so and so has one. Okay, you're only seeing what they put on social media. You
Say it
don't
one more
know
time.
you don't know those trials and tribulations of what they got through to get to what they posted.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You
And it
don't
all
know
looks
if
great
it's
on
even
paper.
true.
Let's talk about it because baby, people be like, "Oh my gosh, I see you down there, and you seem so happy." But you know how many times we be up in here? So I don't understand why. I don't understand. I'm calling my family like I don't understand, and it's poly stuff, but online you don't see that. Not that
Yeah,
I'm misrepresenting, but the stepping stones and the trials and the tribulations that we go through in order to meet
yeah,
these things that you see, it's a process. It's not
it
something
is.
that happens all
Absolutely.
the
It,
time.
and whoever wants to show their bad foot forward on social media, you want people to see that everything's is lions, tigers, bears, roses, rainbows. You're not gonna see that I cussed him out underneath my breath because I can't stand him today or I can't stand her today. No, you're not going to put that on social media. You're going to be like, oh, we're great. We're fabulous. The collars, the cuffs, all of the things.
And see, that's something that I love about the family that I have. Whether
Hmm.
it's you, whether it's Joy, whether it's me, we're extremely transparent. I'm quick to be like, hey, this poly shit be making me want to punch everybody in the face and be like, you know what?
Fuck
This
it
ain't it. And
all.
I be whole calling my family and be like, you know what? I just don't understand. And I get it as a D type, you're not supposed to be doing, but I am a human
You
first and
are
I
a
have
human person.
emotions. I have emotions and I have
Hmm.
feelings and I have traumas and I have all of the things that everybody else has. And it does not magically go away because I've decided, oh, I'm a D type. That's not how it works. And so for me, I know that I try to be as transparent as possible. I talk about my struggles and my trials and my tribulations. But what a lot of people have to understand is the few people that you see that are open,
Hmm.
there are 50 more that are not. And you are only
Absolutely.
seeing what
What
they
they
want you
want
to
you to see.
see.
Amen. Amen. Come
That
on,
is just
Charlie.
what the internet is. That is just what it is. And you have to come in and you're like, oh, well, I love the idea of this. What do I have to do to work to get to this? Don't think
Yeah.
that it's something magical or something that, because
It does
I
not
could
happen
be, if
overnight.
I wanted to be a 60-year-old rich man, on the internet. Guess what I could be?
You could be a 60-year-old rich man, ma'am. You
And
could.
could be,
And could. AI
and
is a
have
thing.
all of the sugar babies and ain't paying nobody
Not
nothing.
a
So
dime. You got
I
your
could
EBT
be,
card.
hey, let me go ahead and get you this seafood boil you can
Let me
cook a little
swipe this
bit.
real quick. Right. Swipe.
But that's the biggest thing. Like, we tend to sit in what it is and we compare ourselves to all of these things, or
Yeah.
we sit back and we see this person and they have all of this, not understanding, hey, I'm leather. Okay, so what it takes to make this person happy as a swinger, what it takes to make this person happy as a kinkster,
Yeah.
don't work for me. And not just that, not only am I leather, I'm demisexual.
I think also it's for people, at least for me, I've had people literally come up to me in person and say, "Oh my God, you're the same person online that you are in person."
Yes.
Um, Baby, I got enough IVR in my head. I do. And for
I
those that
game
don't,
all day, every day, baby. I can
I
only
got, you
use.
don't know what button you pressing in my head. One for Spanish, two for hood, three for I can't be no other way. What you see, like that old song, what you see is what you get.
What you get.
What I
Mm-hmm.
type online is what's going to come out my face.
All of that.
There's not going to be a delineation.
And I check you online the same way I check you in person. The same way that I'm loving and I'm caring online is the same way that I am in person. Like, it's just treat me like a person. This is who I am. I don't have to pretend to be somebody else. Baby, I don't even know you. Who are you for me to
Well,
pretend?
actually, not even that. Also, that, ma'am, I'm a slave. I'm not your slave.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
I am a slave. I am not your slave. I'm my slave.
Yes.
I've surrendered to self. I've surrendered to me. So when I move and that master that finds me and wants to own me and collar me, then I will surrender my slavehood to him.
Correct.
But just because I'm a slave don't mean that you can come up in my inbox, which my inbox stays dry and arid because I think they know better. Um, that part. I'm not everybody's slave, and I've got uplines and connections that if I don't know you, they know you. And if they don't know you, they gonna find you because what you not gonna do.
Exactly. Stop
You
it.
know,
Stop it.
it's just that. Just because I have the word slave don't mean that I kowtow and kneel to any and everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prime example, our sister Lady Savage, which she hates it to death, and I do it intentionally because I'm a sadistic bitch. Yes, slaves are sadists. Slaves are sadists. Slaves are sadists. I kneel because she can't stand it.
I got a picture
I know, me too. And she can't, and you see her face, right? I
of it.
love it. I do it intentionally because it makes me happy. It fulfills my sadism. You know, slaves are not pushovers. Slaves are not doormats. Slaves are not easy. Slavehood is not easy.
Yes.
Slavehood is hard, like being black. Not as hard, because I don't need nobody in your comments talking about, oh my God, how can you correlate, blah, blah, blah. No, but slavehood is hard.
It is. It is. And you can't take away from the hardness.
Yeah.
Like, it is hard.
Slavehood as a black woman, a heterosexual black woman, because I'm a heterosexual I'm a cisgendered heterosexual leather slave. It's a lot of words, but it's hard. It's not a walk in the park, but it's something that I would choose every
Every
time
time. Yes.
because this is where I'm supposed to be. I am slave Ailina. Hey, it just is that, and I'm unabashedly proud to be a slave. I am honored to walk the path that others have lost family, have died, have struggled. I call her the mother of slaves, Mama Vi, who is the mother of every S type, but more so mother of slaves because she identifies as a slave. I honor her with my slavehood. Um, because she said to me many, many years ago, when she kissed me on my third eye, and I bawled like a baby, she said, "You have work to do. You have to bring others up that are coming behind you." And so I will honor that each and every time in the way that Ailina does it.
Yes.
And that's the unafraid part. I'm unabashedly and unafraid to be a slave. If you ask me what I am, I'm a slave. And who gonna check me, boo?
I don't know. That'd be crying
Ma-
sometimes.
Ma'am said, I don't. I mean, you could, ma'am, if you. I mean, because you are on the left.
I know, but I'm
But
more.
you like, I'm gonna let you rock out.
All of that because I'm here for all of the fuckery. So we can just be out here and be like, and then I can be like, I'm the adult. I'm the
Yeah.
dominant. I told her it was cool. Fucking relax. And then we gonna go to the room and I'm gonna be like,
She like, but did you see what you did? I'm like, yeah,
um so all right, we did really awesome. Like we
we
did a
did.
lot of talking. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your experience and your vast knowledge with everyone here. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. There is a lot more to come as I bring more family in. We get more getting to know yous. And then from there, we're going to be doing mashups. I got like so many ideas. We won't talk about it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Shh. You can't give away everything, ma'am. I can probably know what you gonna do, but we're not gonna tell them yet. We're gonna be like, surprise.
so thank you so very much for tuning in. And until next week.